what is being decided. Now, according to court documents, Rihanna, her partner, A$AP Rocky, and their 3 kids were home on March 8th when Ortiz allegedly fired at least 20 shots from an AR-style rifle. Bullets hit the Airstream trailer where Rihanna and A$AP Rocky were. Bullet holes were also found on the exterior of the home where the kids were with their nanny. No one was injured where Ortiz is facing charges for each of those possible victims. And as we come out here live, we were thinking this was just going to be kind of a standard legal proceeding happening today. We're still waiting to hear more details about why this was shot at Rihanna's home months ago. We still don't know.
Hi Gary, hi Lady Di. Murdoch. Oh, Chris just called him Alex Murdoch.
They can't get into the left or right monitor in the computer.
Do I need to call maintenance?
They're on it.
They're on it.
Oh.
This morning, lots of productive conversation happening here in Huntington Beach. A few minutes ago, we just got a young man who has taken job to be e-bike ambassador for the city of Huntington.
The what?
He shared his emotional story of how in 2024, when he was 18 years old, he was struck by a car while riding his e-bike on the sidewalk. And the recovery since then, he says his helmet was the only thing really that doctors say saved his life.
The what?
He shared his story with a room full of law enforcement officers. Look at these videos here of inside the symposium here this morning. We're talking about
Just VO, yeah.
law enforcement officers, doctors,
The what? Oh.
people from public office are out here as well, so they including policymakers. And we've seen officers from cult systems.
Huh, sounds like there's a bad bus crash in Santa Clarita. Somebody already up there? Not yet. Oh, yeah, someone is up there. Someone's already there. I think he just got there.
But now they're really realizing it is all over Southern California. And Huntington Beach, in fact, just started an education program through the local high school to try and get teens to understand how critical safety is on these e-bikes or e-motorcycles even. Those are the ones that go faster than California law allows. And so those are also we talked to one of the officers in charge of that program and why it's so important to hold it up.
And so we have a lot of officers who really can't tell the difference between an e-bike and e-motorcycle. So how is a parent going to be able to tell the difference? How is a young rider going to, they're just going to want to ride what their friends are riding, and a lot of times it's illegal.
The LAPD says that they need your help in tracking down the driver of an SUV that struck an e-scooter rider, seriously injuring that man. And that driver just took off.
We're still not really sure if I'll be able to do that again.
It's tough to see, but that's a man on an
is all you can do.
Jesse Hayes and his mother sharing their story of recovery and talking about the fact that e-bikes and e-motorcycles have become so popular, but they really are doing their part to help inform the community of why it's so important to be safe on them. We know that Amazon has now prohibited sales of certain types of e-bikes in California to include those that do not match the speed limits set here in the state. We also know that 3 parents in Orange County are facing criminal charges for allowing their children to illegally operate e-motorcycles. This includes Tommy Major. She appeared in court yesterday. Prosecutors allege that Major allowed her 14-year-old son to ride despite being too young, even after police warned her not to a year ago. Police say her son struck 81-year-old Vietnam veteran and 17 teacher Ed Ashman. He died 2 weeks after that incident. So in speaking with this other family, the Hayes family, as well as law enforcement officers about why reporting live in Huntington Beach. Back Martinez, CBS 11.
And I'm assignment manager Mark Liu here at the desk. The LAPD says they may need your help tracking down the driver of a dark-colored SUV that crashed into a man on an e-scooter, critically injuring him, and then that driver just kept going. Let me show you some security video that was just released. Now, what you're going to see here in this red circle is the victim. It's a man riding an e-scooter crossing Strathern and Reseda, and it's hard to see, but right there was a hit involving this dark-colored SUV. This dark-colored SUV was going east on Strathern, hit that man on that e-scooter, and just kept going. LAPD says this is a felony hit and run. That e-scooter rider was thrown from the e-scooter and was later rushed away to the hospital by LA City Fire paramedics. Doctors were able to save his life, but he has very serious injuries. But this is the best video that they have of the car that was involved. That dark-colored SUV, they don't quite have a make or model on it, and more importantly, they don't have a description on the driver. Very dark tinted windows. Detectives believe that someone may know the person that was behind the wheel that morning. This is Thursday, May 7th at about 6:30 in Reseda, at Strathern and Reseda. There's a $25,000 reward now for anyone who can provide information leading to the identity and the arrest of the driver of that dark-colored SUV. That's it here from the desk. I'll send it back to you. Hi, I am very likely going to have some, oh, I'm coming up overhead. This is a major crash in Santa Clarita of a bus, 13 patients, one of them critical, one of them trapped. So we may need to make a line to do this when you're ready. Santa Clarita, major bus crash. Oh, it looks like it involves a tank or like a gravel truck or something. Roger. Bye. Hey, so I'm going to do this at the top of the next block. Can you let Fox know? Oh my God, this thing hit a gravel truck. Holy moly. What a mess. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. What is this? What kind of a Santa Clarita? Santa Clarita.
Matters of national security will also be a key focus. The president says he'll talk with Xi about a multi-billion-dollar weapons package for Taiwan that the U.S. greenlit late last year but has been delayed. Natalie Grant, CBS News, the White House.
Yeah, this is kind of bad. Yikes. Okay. All right, now I think. All right, am I just going with this? Hey, am I just going to stay with this? Just keep talking, share with the anchors, do whatever? Or am I just going to do a minute 30 and then toss back to them? What do you think? We know there's at least 13 patients, one critical, one trapped, and you know there's this scene. So, I mean, you just let me know. I mean, in my ear. Okay, so all right, then I'm gonna toss it back after I've said what I need to say. Okay. Okay. All right, bye. I was told to not. I was just told to not stay with the producer. Hi. Wow, you look great. Hold on, I got a breaking news story next. My God. Okay. Okay. I'm assignment manager Mark Liu at the desk. Got some major breaking news to tell you about a crash involving a bus and a gravel truck in Santa Clarita. Now, these are live pictures from SkyCal. You can see a huge amount of damage between these very large vehicles. This is an extremely fresh accident, and now as SkyCal makes an orbit, we are seeing this for the first time as well. It looks like there is a small passenger car, that white vehicle, also involved here. This is at Golden Valley Road and Center Point Parkway in the Santa Clarita area. Now, LA County Fire says they responded here just about 25 minutes ago. It was 9:45 with a report of a multi-vehicle collision here, and you can see the damage. Now, there's that white car, there's this large big rig carrying what appears to be gravel, and then there's a Santa Clarita Valley transit bus right there also involved. Now, this was a key part of the concern for LA County firefighters because there were passengers on this bus. We are hearing there are as many as 13 people on this bus. One of them may have been suffering from critical injuries. There was also a report that there may have had to been what's called an extrication, where someone was trapped. Now, we don't know what vehicle that person was trapped in, but LA County firefighters did have to use tools in order to get one of those patients out of there. Now, you can see here, this appears to be a small makeshift triage area where there are some people from that bus that don't appear to have too many injuries, but this entire intersection here is closed. Golden Valley Road at Center Point Parkway. This is right across the street from something called the Santa Clarita Valley Sports Complex, if you're familiar with the area. But you can see LA County Sheriff's deputies are up there as well. Multiple ambulances you see there on the left side of your screen. We don't know if anybody has actually been rushed to the hospital yet. There's that sports complex that I was talking to you about. This is a major intersection right in the north part of Santa Clarita. Now, we don't have a cause yet on this crash, but you can see lots of damage to all of the vehicles involved here, and there are injuries, certainly, that LA County fire paramedics are going to be dealing with here. We apologize for the signal breaking up. SkyCal trying to tune in to the right mountaintop there to get a strong signal. Now, this appears to be a fourth vehicle also involved here, another white sedan, very severe damage to the front. It looks like the airbags went off. So you can see lots of things for LA County firefighters to have to deal with all at the same time. And again, we do know that at least one person had to be cut from one of these vehicles. We don't have really a condition on any of the drivers here, but at least one person wasn't critical, and there were patients on that bus. It looks like everyone has been able to get off of that bus, as we don't see firefighters going in there anymore. But all of that gravel that big rig was carrying, it has now spilled over onto the side. This is going to be a massive cleanup. And of course, this area is going to be closed to make sure that everything gets taken care of that firefighters need to do, include treating patients. And it looks like now as SkyCal goes around on that bus and gets a better look, the entire window on the driver's side of the bus has been smashed out, which likely meant that there was glass everywhere. Certainly that could have caused injuries to people on this bus. This must have been terrifying for those that were riding that Santa Clarita transit bus through this area. But Amy and Chris, you can see this intersection is going to be closed for at least the next several hours. This is a major crash. There has to be, of course, the treatment of everybody that was injured here, and of course the investigation. And then they're going to have to clear this all up. It's going to require some very heavy-duty tow trucks. But the first concern is, of course, the injured.
Yes, definitely, Mark. And we see that this is a large intersection, and you can't help but notice those skid marks that are going through that intersection that look like they are from the trail
Yeah, that's a really great eye. It does look like those skid marks are coming from that large big rig, and it was carrying a full double load of gravel. So a huge amount of force behind that vehicle. You know, force is mass times acceleration. We don't know how fast that truck was going or why those skid marks were there, if it was swerving to get out of the way or if the driver lost control or there was some issue with the bus or those other two cars, or if there was another vehicle that was involved here that is not at the scene. We just don't know that. This is a very fresh crash scene right now. LA County Sheriff's deputies are securing that crash scene as firefighters from LA County Fire are doing the work. Again, we see a small, what looks like triage area right outside the bus. Some people sitting down. They may have had very minor injuries. Everybody is going to get checked out by paramedics before they are released. But we do know that at least one person here was injured pretty badly. It was described as a critical injury on the scanner. And there was actually some reports also that somebody needed to be cut from one of these vehicles. Don't know if that's the bus or if that was one of those white vehicles here, but it looks like the driver of that big rig, I see what appears to be the door open there, so hopefully the driver of that big rig was able to get out on their own.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take a lot of work to clean this area up. Of course, we will let you update you about all the injuries, what exactly caused this, to make sure to stay here with CBS LA. But for now, let's turn it over to Amber Lee with our weather forecast. Amber, it's cloudy skies today, but the sun hopefully coming out soon. I missed it. Who's the one that got hurt?
I don't know. It's a critical injury to somebody. I don't know down there. I'm trying to get that info.
They liked it and then did it?
Jeez. There's gravel in the bus.
What did you say?
There's gravel in the bus. All right, everybody. It sounds like I just got an update from LA City Fire. There's a really bad crash. I'm sorry, LA County Fire. So the one person that was critical was the trapped person on the bus. They were extricated in about 10 minutes. And they're being rushed to Henry Mayo Hospital. Oh my gosh, they need 10 ambulances here. Okay, so it's 12 patients, all walking wounded. They're going to be fine. Then one critical patient from the bus that had to be cut from the bus. That person being transported to Henry Mayo Hospital. Yikes. Okay.
Health and Human Services Secretary in the Biden administration, one-time California Attorney General, U.S. Congressman, and former state assembly member, 68-year-old Javier Becerra says he has the experience to tackle California's affordability crisis.
My parents were able to buy a house, send 4 of us to college or the military, and then live out the rest of their life in retirement. That should still be the California dream.
Becerra is one of the few candidates for governor who has run and won a statewide election, so voters know of him, but he has yet to break through the pack in this race.
California voters don't seem to be able to identify what exactly his successes were, despite holding all of these powerful positions. There's a communications problem there because voters still seem to lack information and knowledge about who he is.
Okay, I need to edit this video.
CBS News California investigates. He said he would have acted sooner than the governor did on some issues plaguing the state.
For example, the housing crisis. I wouldn't have waited as long until we see this crushing debt. The high-speed bill, same thing. I wouldn't have waited till it became clear that we were going to have all these obstacles, principally in court. Time is money.
Lori Perez, CBS LA.
In Ontario, where we just witnessed 800 motorcycles leaving this parking lot to ride 3,000 miles across the country to our nation's capital. This is all for Run for the Wall, an annual journey that I will tell you more about coming up after the break.
Am I doing this update? Am I doing this update? I am. Okay, it's me. All right, that's fine. Okay. Incredibly, there's only as walking. I would like to do my own thing. I did it my way. Okay. Wow, is that already a tow truck? Already a tow truck there. Yes, me and the chopper, that's it. I'm gonna do what, do you think about a minute, Ray, on this? I don't know. Okay. Minute 30, I can do minute 30, right to that. Just someone yell in my ear when I'm supposed to rap. Oh. Oh, that's a DUI. Oh. There is someone getting a DUI test down there. I'm assignment manager Mark Liu here at the desk. Got an update to a major breaking news story in Santa Clarita. A crash between a gravel truck and a city bus and two other vehicles has completely closed the intersection of Golden Valley Road and Center Point Parkway. Now, these are live pictures from SkyCal, and you can see what's going on here. This is about 9:30 this morning, so about 1 hour ago, Santa Clarita sheriffs and LA County firefighters were called here for the report of a major crash. You can see it involves 4 vehicles, a Santa Clarita transit bus, a large big rig carrying 2 full loads of gravel, and 2 small white cars. Now, incredibly, there is only 1 critical injury here. No fatalities. There was 1 person, a passenger on that bus that was trapped, and there were other people on that bus as well. LA County Fire says there are a total of 13 patients here. 1, that critical person had to be cut from that bus. They are on their way to Henry Mayo. There are 12 other people described as walking wounded. They're all very likely going to be okay. You can see most of them were sitting on that grass area now. They have now moved away to be treated by ambulances. This entire intersection is going to be closed. LA County sheriffs are down there, the deputies. We just saw them conducting what appeared to be a field sobriety test on someone down there. Now, we don't know which driver that was, but someone down there is getting a field sobriety test. No official cause yet on this crash, but incredibly, no fatalities here, but 1 critical injury on their way to Henry Mayo, which is a trauma center, and 12 other people described as walking wounded. Expect the intersection of Golden Valley Road and Center Parkway to be closed for at least the next several hours due to this major crash. That's it here from the desk. I'll send it back to you. Hey, did you see that? Someone was getting a DUI test down there. Yeah, it's field sobriety test. I don't know which driver that was, but somebody's in trouble. Well, it says very clearly on the broadcast. It said 13 patients, 1 critical, 12 walking wounded, 10 ambulances required. Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks. Bye. Okay, I need to finish editing this. All right. What am I looking at here?
We often see if kids have ADHD type symptoms or autism type symptoms. Sometimes they have been able to kind of get through okay with those.
But as they enter 3rd or 4th grade,
Academics get harder, social stuff gets harder.
For kids who are neurodivergent,
Especially if it's not diagnosed, they'll look at the kids around them in school and be like, how come it's so easy for them to get their work done? How come she has all these friends? Something's wrong with me.
affirmations are used to build self-esteem, like, there is no one better to be than myself.
It's so easy to want to be in someone else's shoes. And the fact is, I think, everyone has their struggle.
Another, my confidence grows when I step out of my comfort zone.
That means we've made some progress.
And though it may seem obvious, I deserve to be loved.
Some of these kids come in with such low self-esteem because of the constant messaging they've gotten, and so they really do need to know, you deserve to be loved.
Throughout their journey, kids learn what they have and how to explain it. They also gain the vocabulary to ask for help.
Once kids start to understand like how their mind and their body and their actions are all connected, it really is helpful in keeping, maintaining friendships, creating new friendships and things like that.
I'm not going to use that video.
When I came forward to tell my story, people thought I was funny. Neuroplastic stories started back in the 80s, and Catholic school in Orange County.
My junior year is the grooming process, the manipulation process, which is the survivor. Started right away. The worst part is that the school knew all along.
She says behind that smile was a troubled and vulnerable young girl, something she says her choir teacher took advantage of.
He sexually abused me over a 2-year period. And by the time I graduated high school, I was pregnant and had a sexually transmitted disease.
It would be more than a decade before she'd get the courage to publicly share her story.
That is the burden of shame of child sexual assault. I was not ready when I was 19.
That's why she helped pass this 2019 law that extended the statute of limitations for childhood sexual abuse lawsuits.
Thousands and thousands of survivors have come forward.
Nearly a decade later, survivors like Joelle say the law is working. Exposing abuse and forcing accountability, school districts across California are paying billions to settle decades-old abuse claims. But critics warn justice comes at a cost.
Everybody wants justice for these individuals, but there are unintended consequences.
According to public records, Dr. April Moore's small rural district recently paid more than $1.4 million to settle a case of alleged abuse from the 70s.
How many teachers could that
I don't
money
like this.
pay for?
At least 12 to 14 teachers.
The school superintendent says in most cases, schools pay settlements to avoid even more costly legal battles.
We can't even investigate accurately.
With physical records and witnesses long gone, and in some cases the accused dead, digging through old yearbooks is sometimes the only way to confirm whether a student or employee even attended school.
So we're paying claims for things that may have happened in the past, and we're using the funds that are earmarked and designated for today's students.
And due to school insurance pools, districts without abuse claims can be on the hook for settlements on the other side of the state. You see, instead of paying for individual insurance policies, California schools pool their money to cover claims. So one settlement impacts the entire pool. The ripple effect? Ongoing school insurance costs have nearly tripled. Today's struggling students are losing teachers and programs because of crimes committed in some cases before the students were even born, and at schools they've never heard of.
And that, to me, is an injustice for today's students.
If you were sexually abused in a California school, you may still have time to act.
Critics point to ads like these from law firms looking for clients.
There's like this whole new massive cottage industry that's arising.
Andy Baum, an attorney representing Los Angeles County, points to an LA Times investigation that found personal injury attorneys allegedly paid people cash outside a social services office to join their sex abuse lawsuit.
I want to believe a woman or anybody who comes forward and says I was sexually abused by this person. I've litigated cases where that was true. I've also litigated cases where it was found to be not true.
But Joelle Castick stresses those cases are the exception, not the rule, in a system that's failed victims for decades.
False allegations and false claims and lawsuits are extraordinarily rare. And they're rare because the process stinks.
As the cost of these cases grow, so do calls for reform. Critics want to cap attorneys' fees and limit future payouts, which attorneys warn could ultimately harm survivors.
Survivors need to be able to have their day in court.
The Archdiocese of Orange County eventually settled Castick's
The
case for $1.5 million.
process
Because if
is
you
so
have your day in court
incredibly
and you prove it, then you should be entitled
wrong.
to that accountability.
It was
The question now for
absolutely unbearable.
for survivors have to come at a cost of today's students. The CBS News California investigates. I'm Julie Watts.
We also have an issue on the 215 southbound Riverside. This is just before Senator's accident. That white lane blocked off there, and the right back east intersection car from the local Chief Center Street, then you open up to approach the Riverside. Now on the northbound side of 215 to New Terrace, this is road work between the Lone Expressway and Victor. The left lane blocked off there. That drives back to
Nearly 800 motorcycles and their riders just took off here from Ontario, making their way 3,000 miles across the country to Washington, D.C. ahead of Memorial Day weekend. Now,
What am I doing?
Remember those still missing and help those still struggling from war. Sky towers overhead as hundreds of motorcycles rolled out of Ontario and began their cross-country trek to the nation's capital. Crowds lined streets early this morning waving American flags and cheering on the riders as they headed east. The ride began in 1989 with a group of Vietnam veterans determined to raise awareness for American service members still accounted for after war. More than 3 decades later, that mission continues with riders from across the country making the coast-to-coast trip ahead of Memorial Day weekend. Now, many of the participants are veterans themselves, but organizers say you do not have to serve in the military to take part. Families, supporters, and patriots also ride to honor the sacrifices made by service members and their loved ones. One of the most emotional traditions is the missing man formation, where riders leave one position open to symbolize those killed in action, missing in action, or held as prisoners of war. Riders are expected to arrive at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. on May 23rd. Organizers say this is about remembrance, healing, and making sure veterans know they are not alone.
Not all wounds are visible, and so this is a rite of healing, it's a rite of support, it's to show them that we care. Right now we have about 22 veterans a day who take their lives because they cannot assimilate back into society, and that's one of the reasons why we ride.
This morning we saw a lot of patriotism, a lot of people waving American flags, and just people proud to have served their country or stand by those who did. Now again, 3,000 miles across this country. It's going to take about 10 days for this journey, and everyone here, the organizers say this is to ride for those who can't, and for all those service members who are watching and those who have served. We say thank you for your service. And on
I guess.
CBS.
Bus crash.
Yeah, it's a little weird being in here by myself, but the nurses come in, the doctors come in, I'm on WhatsApp all the time. It's really amazing how quickly time flies.
Bus and gravel truck crash. Yeah. Fuck, this was bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. There was someone. Oh, you know what?
sunshine and spice of Southeast Asia collide. I then began the campaign to designate East Hollywood as Thai Town. That's Chancy Martorell.
God damn it, no, he didn't.
Of the Thai Community Development Center. Martorell helped found Thai Town in the late 90s.
When I had come up with the
Okay, that's not
plan for the Thai Town designation, I suggested to our committee that we make it compact and walkable and pedestrian friendly.
Thai Town occupies a half-mile stretch of Hollywood Boulevard between Western and Normandy. It's also the first officially designated Thai Town in the U.S. At the neighborhood's entrance on Hollywood and Hobart Boulevard.
Did the guy getting the field sobriety test get put in handcuffs? Question mark.
Of hand-painted murals, each section a representation of the rich traditions of Thailand here in LA.
It is really a way of transporting Thai culture and Thai heritage and beliefs abroad here in this country.
For the finest threads,
this is Pukao.
Take a short walk across the street to the Thai boutique Pukao. Shop owner Yaya Aksarapak Bandu has specialized in Thai silkwear for over a decade.
Like this, you see? This is my design. Wow.
Hey, do you know? Can you ask Stu if he knows?
Headpieces.
Thai classic dance is what Mrs. wore.
Wander through this Thai town staple, you're sure to leave feeling like royalty.
You don't need to wear only Thai outfits. You can wear Thai fabric with your style.
For an authentic taste of Thai sweets, check out dessert shop Coco's Kanam Thai.
This coconut we have it from the farm in Thailand. We pack it, we do all the process, and then we import it to US.
From coconut milk soaked rice paired with fresh mango to colorful chili bites.
What is Alex? Dude.
The freshest coconut.
This tropical fruit is what brings the taste of Thai desserts to life.
That's amazing.
Now the savory. Traditional Thai cooking is known for its signature spice.
Prepare for the spicy.
Do you know? Did
of Thai food, because you wouldn't know, it hitting you until you actually try it.
Explore this East Hollywood cultural community. It's a ticket to Thailand without ever leaving LA.
The people of Thailand also bring
know,
not just very amicable and friendly and type of traits, but always welcoming all that, but also very proud. They're very proud of their heritage. They're proud of their culture.
oh, he. It's right. The guy's right there. There. I thought I saw. All right. Do you think Chopper? I'm guessing Chopper is going to stay there for the. I'm guessing Chopper is going to stay there for top of the 11. Okay, I'll use it at top 11, and I already cut video. Should be fine. Very well. Okay, bye. very sad. Oh. Oh. But one's okay. It's called the hand. That's your wife, Bill.
Are you doing one more hit by
Uh,
the end? Are you clear for the next 5 minutes?
I am. I'm doing a hit at the top of the 11.
Yeah, okay. Did you see my top line?
I did, but I was so busy I forgot.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So can I pass your information on to a friend of mine who has an AAJA question?
Yeah.
Related. Okay.
Yeah. What I mean.
So
they're in
do you
AJA.
know who Angela's son is?
No.
Okay. She was at Spectrum for a little bit. She's
Oh.
come in as a guest before.
Okay.
So this is the text she sent me.
Journalist, professor, Angela's son. No, but AJ's asked me to ask you. He's
So I asked Button, do we have a contact?
Oh, Trivia Bowl. Okay, so we used to do.
So yeah.
We used to do Trivia Bowl here every single year, and I was a team captain with Paul Button, right? But we don't do it anymore.
Right, because I don't want to pay for it. Right. Can I put her in touch with? Can I put her person in touch with you just to provide information, whatever?
Yeah, is she with AJA?
I think so.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll talk to her. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in on it. Yeah. See if I can get see if she'll invite me to the convention. I want to go to the AJA convention. It's an awesome convention for Asian journalists. Oh. What am I doing?
Cadbury cream mix has shrunk in size.
Okay.
And the Reese's recipes. I thought Reese's was going to change the recipe back because too many people complain about the.
These are from last Halloween, so maybe they will.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Hi, Jamie.
Hi.
How are you? Okay.
How's this bus accident?
It's going to be there for a while. There is gravel inside the bus. That's just talk about a bad day as a bus commuter. Is what happened to you today? Oh, I was in a bus crash and flying gravel hit me.
So when I was a kid, newly laid gravel was on the ground, and my friend Megan and Holback and I decided to race each other, not realizing at our age like what gravel would do.
Ouch.
And I flew over my handlebars and got it in my face and my cheek.
Ouch.
Next on CBS LA,
Hello, this is Mark Liu. How can I help you?
a bus crash in Santa Clarita.
Hi.
Oh my goodness.
90 seconds. Thank you.
Injured. Our Mark Liu is at the desk getting details on exactly what happened. President Trump touches down in China. What's to come in this high-stakes summit? And the woman facing charges for
We
shooting
don't have
Ariana's home. Robert, you look so nice. What's going on?
Thank you. Just practicing.
Ah, nice.
CBS LA Mornings starts with breaking news.
I'm Jimmy Yucas. Breaking at 11. A major crash between a bus and a gravel truck in Santa Clarita. Assignment manager Mark Liu live at the desk. And Mark, more than a dozen people here injured.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Jamie. There were